Coming up next, a shot of stormy fall weather brought down trees and lines around central PA.
Plus, a controversy over student media makes national news. We talk with the man fired for taking a stand.
The university's plan was to censor the paper, and so I was unwilling to look underneath that.
And we take you to a fall event featuring hundreds of pumpkins and a lot of fun. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Noah Flennard.
And I'm Kate Delmonico. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, a strong line of storms that barreled through central Pennsylvania left behind some damage, and the cleanup continues in some places today. In Harris Township, a big tree and some phone lines came down during the storm on Sunday and blocked the road. These pictures from the Boalsburg Fire Company are along Ella Drive. Firefighters responded and the township removed the tree. Here are some of the wind gusts recorded as of Sunday afternoon. In Center County, 38 miles an hour at Zion and 35 near Port Matilda. But there were higher gusts in other areas, including 47 miles an hour in Chambersburg, 46 in Johnstown, and 44 in Williamsport.
A controversy over alleged censorship has blown up into a national debate involving student media, and it involves a journalist who worked at Penn State. Reporter Catherine Schreiner is in the studio with a closer look at the story. Catherine.
Noah, the issue is about whether news can appear in the printed student newspaper at Indiana University in Bloomington. The Indiana Daily Student is fighting back after the university first blocked what could be included, then shut down print production altogether. Newsstands remain empty days after the print editions of Indiana University's student newspaper were cut by the school's administration. That followed the firing of student media director Jim Rodenbush after he refused an order to keep news stories out of a homecoming edition.
Yeah, it's chilling, right? Particularly, they fired me on a Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they just canceled all print products.
The escalation came as a shock to Rodenbush, who previously worked at Penn State and served as a news advisor for the Daily Collegian. The IU controversy has ignited a national debate over censorship and student journalists' First Amendment rights. The university says it wants to shift resources from print media to digital platforms, both for students' educational experience and to address the paper's financial problems. Rodenbush said he was part of a meeting about IU's directive to stay clear of news stories in the homecoming print edition.
That meeting is what I would call volatile. A particular administrator from the media school came at me pretty hard, and that's when I first really focused in on the idea of what you're asking me to do amounts to censorship of the paper.
His termination letter later cited a lack of leadership and the ability to work with the university's direction. At Penn State, digital, print, and broadcast news are all available for students through student media. The university's paper, the Daily Collegian, where Rodenbush spent 3 years, cites its editorial independence from the university, although it does receive funding from Penn State. Rodenbush says there has been a clear line when it comes to news coverage.
Student journalism is not a business partnership with the university. Student journalism, among the many things that you were doing, is covering the university.
Rodenbush also says that student journalism is essential.
I would encourage everyone to, first of all, keep doing it because we need people, right? We in order for it to survive, we need people that are willing to take on that fight, willing to do that work.
In a new twist to this story, Indiana University has now announced a task force on the independence and sustainability of the newspaper. The group will include faculty, students, and alumni, along with experts in journalism, business, and law. I'm Catherine Schreiner reporting. Back to you.
Thanks, Catherine. The federal government shutdown continues today, and there are new effects on Pennsylvania. SNAP recipients will not receive benefits that were scheduled to be paid in November. That'll continue until the shutdown ends. Meantime, an 11th vote to reopen the government failed in the U.S. Senate yesterday as hundreds of thousands of federal employees work without pay. Thousands more are being furloughed. The key issue remains healthcare. The longest shutdown ever stands at 35 days.
Several thousand protesters gathered and demonstrated at Penn State's Old Main as a part of the nationwide No King's Day events. Saturday's event was locally organized by a group called Keystone Indivisible. Protesters said they're fighting back against the Trump administration. A volunteer organizer says the event was about unity and taking a stand.
We have a lot of joy around this country, and we're going to continue to rejoice in what our country has been, can be.
Organizers claim nearly 7 million people took part in more than 2,700 events in all 50 states.
A new air service alliance aims to bring more flights to State College Regional Airport. A group of Center County organizations, including Penn State, is looking to attract more airlines and support economic development in the area. The State College Air Service Alliance hopes to raise $500,000 for the Fly State College Fund.
Our hope is that we will attract, either encourage the airlines that are here to add additional destinations, or we will recruit new airlines to come in and provide service to additional destinations.
They've already raised $130,000 for the fund.
200 years of Center County history is being torn down in Ferguson Township. Penn State University is bringing down Kepler Barn. It was built in the mid-19th century and was the site of training for the first Peace Corps in the 1960s. The university has been facing pushback on the decision to tear it down, as the Pennsylvania Barn and Farm Foundation cites its historic value. The president of the organization told us repair for the building would have cost $500,000, which the school and foundation were not able to raise.
Drivers in State College may finally see an end to the long-going Atherton Street construction. PennDOT says the current project stretching from Curtin Road to West Beaver Avenue is expected to wrap up in early November. Crews are finishing paving sidewalks and traffic signals as part of the multi-year improvement plan. The final phase of the plan is already in the works, but PennDOT says that won't begin until at least 2028.
A seasonal tradition returned to the Penn State Arboretum. Families, students, and others all came out to enjoy the Pumpkin Festival over the weekend.
Do you like the Minecraft one?
Crowds filled the Arboretum at Penn State for a fall celebration featuring carved pumpkins, live entertainment, and family activities. The 14th annual Pumpkin Festival drew people from across the region. Events manager Adrienne Eichenlaub began planning back in June. She says the event is nothing short of magical.
It's sweet to see the kids come here and they're their eyes light up when they see all the pumpkins, and you very rarely get to experience the property at night because we close at dusk.
Eichenlaub has led the last two festivals and says she works to include something for everyone. New this year, a 21-plus pumpkin patch for adult guests. Each season brings fresh additions to the growing audience. Penn State alum Allie Burke says this was her first time at the festival, but she'll be back.
My favorite part is just seeing all the fall trees. It's very pretty and scenic, and then seeing the pumpkins, obviously. It's just a fun fall activity.
Behind me are some of the over 900 pumpkins the Arboretum gave out this year for their decorating contest. From spooky to silly, they're all lined up for the community to enjoy. The festival has become a fall staple in Happy Valley. Local band Pickle and Popper have performed here for the last 7 years. They say they keep coming back for one reason: the people. Organizers say the goal is to keep bringing the community back, not only for the Pumpkin Festival, but year-round Arboretum events. The Arboretum's next seasonal event will be Winter's Glow on December 13th. The gardens will feature illuminated displays, live entertainment, and food vendors to celebrate the winter season.
An animal rescue in Howard has been trying to help some furry friends in Boalsburg. Hope's Dreams Rescue and Sanctuary has partnered with the Harris Township to help control the stray cat population at Country Place Park. Cats in the area are being pulled for vaccinations and to be spayed and neutered to keep the population down. Once treated, they're released back into the park. The rescue advises nearby families to be mindful of leash laws and family cats during this time.
Well, Noah, hopefully it won't feel like winter anytime soon. We'll check the 7-day forecast coming up.
And another agonizing loss for Penn State football. Also coming up, Halloween came early for a local fire department in the form of flying pumpkins. Find out more when we come back.
Pumpkins were flying through the air at Bald Eagle State Park over the weekend. But it wasn't just for fun. It was all to support a local fire company. Hannah George was there.
Bright skies and soaring pumpkins filled Bald Eagle State Park for the annual Pumpkin Chunkin' Fall Festival. The event brought together launchers and spectators from across the country, all for one purpose: to raise money for the Howard Fire Company. Dozens of homemade launchers lined the lakefront, sending pumpkins hundreds of feet into the air.
These launchers have traveled from across the country: Colorado, Michigan, Indiana. Now the goal is to get over 2,000 feet, seeing as this lake is 3,000 feet across. But some of these cannons and catapults could actually go over a mile if they wanted to, and in fact a few could clear this mountain.
We have a large trebuchet that's powered with 600 feet of spearfishing bands, and then we draw that tight with a 17,000 pound winch that we run through a tripler, so we're pulling the bands at about 35,000 pounds.
A lot of vendors, a lot of fun, a lot of people. Good to meet everybody.
The family-friendly festival also featured food trucks, craft vendors, and kids' activities. But at its core, it's about community support.
I like that it's not a competition, it's just for the fun of doing it, and everybody celebrates what everybody else is doing. We're not competing with each other.
Organizers say the day's turnout made a real difference for the department and the community it serves. At Bald Eagle State Park, I'm Hannah George for the Center County Report.
The Howard Fire Company says this is its biggest fundraiser of the year, and it's made possible by volunteers, local sponsors, and the community's continued support. Now let's check the weather with Filippo.
And we do not have any pumpkins flying in this forecast, but we do have some rain on the way. Right now at the Penn State golf courses, some clouds in the sky, but also some peaks of sunshine as you're getting out there. Very seasonable for this time of the year, 57 degrees and mostly cloudy skies, a southwesterly wind at 9 miles per hour. And you may have noticed stepping outside this weekend that the fall foliage is at its peak across Pennsylvania and in fact much of the Northeast right now. But some of those leaves were taken off the trees this past weekend. A strong line of showers and even a few rumbles of thunder moved through the state across the day on Sunday. And we're going to be seeing a high amount of precip and some drought relief in the northwestern portion of the state, along with this storm and this night's storm. And we're going to be seeing those showers moving into the Commonwealth throughout the rest of the day today. And let's time out those showers right now as a part of this low pressure system moving through. Showers get here in central Pennsylvania around 2 o'clock and start to hurry their way to the east. And we're going to be seeing a couple rounds of showers with this storm system. So keep that umbrella handy, but you may be opening it and closing it multiple times throughout the day. Some lake effect showers and even a few rumbles of thunder possible in northwest Pennsylvania. This is a pattern very typical of snow squalls just a few months from now. And we do have the chance for a few snowflakes in Bradford overnight, Wednesday and into Thursday as the temperature drops below 32 degrees. The chance of over 2 inches of rain in Erie, but here in State College, we're looking at less than 1/10 of an inch. So for today, 61 degrees, just above average for this time of the year, with those showers moving in this afternoon. A southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we head into tonight, we'll see a low of 42 degrees with those on and off showers continuing. Not a washout by any means, a westerly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we step into the day tomorrow, that westerly wind gets stronger at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could be gusty at times too, with a high of 49 degrees, overcast, but a few raindrops. And as we take a look at our 7-day outlook, we have a very wet middle of the week, but as we head into this weekend, Friday and Saturday have the best chances of staying dry, guys, before another system potentially next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Filippo. You know, with all this fall weather, it's the perfect time to break out that flannel and some jeans and feel great. So on to our own Gigi Jones for sports.
Coming up in sports, a look at Penn State's men's and women's hockey as they climb in the rankings. Plus, one of the weekend's top high school football games. And more trouble for the Nittany Lions as they try to rebound from yet another loss. I'm Gigi Jones with sports. Penn State football is in another bye week, and they need it. That's because Ninick Stadium delivered another gut punch to the Nittany Lions as they suffered another 1-point loss in Iowa over the weekend.
In its first game since James Franklin's firing, Penn State started strong early in the game. Senior safety Zakie Wheatley intercepted the Hawkeyes and put the Lions in good shape. A handoff from fresh-faced new starting QB Ethan Grunkemeyer to running back Katron Allen sealed the deal, putting Penn State up. Iowa responded with a field goal in the first and a quarterback sneak late in the second. At the field goal line with 6 seconds left in the half, a blocked kick scoop and score by cornerback Elliott Washington put the Lions up 14-10 and gave them all the momentum. Katron Allen put Penn State up once again, but a fake handoff and run-in from QB Mark Gronowski gave the Hawkeyes gas. With a 5-point deficit late in the fourth quarter, Iowa wide receiver Caden Wetjen turns on the Jets, swivels in and walks 6 more points onto the scoreboard. Penn State tries to respond with a pass down the field with just over a minute left, but pressure from defensive back Deshaun Lee quickly ends those hopes. With the ball back, Gronowski seals the deal on a Hawkeyes win, 25-24. The Lions have now lost 4 in a row, and next up is a very tough road game at Ohio State.
Running back Katron Allen rushed for a career-high 145 yards and 2 touchdowns in Saturday's game. Next up is the game in Columbus against the Buckeyes on November 1st. Kickoff is at noon. Saturday marked the first game for interim coach Terry Smith. After the firing of James Franklin, the longtime Nittany Lions assistant guided the team through a tough weekend, then that tough loss at Iowa. He gave this blunt assessment of the game.
There was nobody that turned anything down. There was no one that didn't give great effort. We just have to execute better. That's where our problem is, and that's my job to get it fixed. I'm super proud of those guys and the way they played. We just got to clean it up so that we can finish games.
Now to high school football, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders faced the Clearfield Bison over the weekend for the first time ever in a big game with playoff implications. After the Whistle reporter Zach Miller was there.
1, 2, 3, Tonight, BG faced Clearfield for the first time. And with both teams coming in on big winning records, we knew this game would be a nail-biter.
They were doing some stuff early on offense, away from some of their tendencies that we needed to adjust to. So, and we told our guys it's about effort in the second half. And we've won a lot of games in the fourth quarter. So we have a great group of guys. They trust each other, and we thought we made some good changes, and our guys believe in it. And, they really came to play in the second half.
The first half was a slow struggle, but halftime seemed to light a fire under Bishop Guilfoyle, as Jake Kissel would put on a masterclass of how to play all sides of the ball. Due to injury, Kissel has bounced around the depth chart from QB to running back to tight end, along with crashing the line of scrimmage as a defensive end. A win from Bishop Guilfoyle has them in the Laurel Highlands Conference Championship next week. You saw a familiar face, Jake Kissel, as he had his hand in 3 touchdown plays on the night.
It's just that fourth quarter mentality, man. At BG, we push through all the hardships, and if you're tired, you just got to keep pushing forward. So that was our motto in the fourth quarter, and we got the job done.
He's incredible. I say it all the time. When you come to a game and come to watch us play, you know Jake's name, and you expect him to do great things, and somehow he surprises you.
Midway through the season, Kissel sat at over 7 yards per carry, along with 17 total touchdowns, and continued this trend.
He means everything. He's a leader. He runs the ball when we need him to, and he tackles and makes plays on defense when we need him to.
Both Kissel and Listoki led the Marauders in a hard-fought win. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Zach Miller.
You can see highlights and post-game reaction from the top local high school games this Friday on our sports show, After the Whistle. That's live at 11:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel, Penn State Student Media. And Penn State men's hockey looks to stay hot after completing a series sweep against Long Island University. The Lions won Friday night's game 5-4 in overtime, with Aiden Fink scoring the golden goal. Saturday's game ended with freshman goalie Josh Fleming's 3-0 shutout despite the win. Guy Godowski talked about his team's performance on Friday and what needs improvement.
But boy, we got to start with a sense of urgency right when the puck drops, and that's our focus right now.
Penn State is now 5-1 and ranked number 5 in the country. And the women's hockey team looks to keep its winning streak alive as they get ready for a series later this week. Pagula was bumping over the weekend as the Nittany Lions took on Mercyhurst. In Game 1, the defense held strong throughout the first period, but seconds into the second, Tessa Janicki secured the first goal of the night. The momentum continued into the third period as Caitlin Roberts and Danica Maynard secured 2 more goals for the Lions. Penn State went on to win 3-0 on Friday and 6-1 on Saturday. They're now 8-0 on the season. And Penn State men's soccer is on the road this week. They'll play at Wisconsin on Saturday. The Lions tied Northwestern 2-2 on Friday in their whiteout game at Jeffrey Field. Then last night, they lost a close game 2-1 against Washington. For the Nittany Lions to secure a spot in the postseason, they'll have to string together some wins as the end of the regular season rapidly approaches. Penn State is tied for 10th in the Big Ten. That's all I have, but with Penn State football off this weekend, we have some more time, don't we?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to try to fit in a couple Penn State hockey games to fill my weekend up. Well, as always, thanks, Gigi. Coming up next, hundreds of people joined an annual mile run, but this tradition is a lot sweeter than the rest. Find out more after the break.
Some people enjoy running, others like eating ice cream, and some, including myself, enjoy both at the same time. The Penn State IM Sports League hosted its 4th annual ice cream mile in University Park over the weekend. There were about 350 runners and over 14,000 scoops of ice cream served to runners as they ran. Participants warmed up, ran the race, and then were gifted a sticker and a t-shirt at the finish line.
Well, Noah, that sure has me craving some ice cream, but that's all we have for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us on Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.